Tonight, we examine the drought that continues to grip much of the Southwest and Midwest. Should we care? What's the impact of drought on our quality of life and our economy? And what innovative solutions can be employed to address our water supply issues? Nate, let me start with you. You're author of the book, as I said, Harvest the Rain. Tell us a little bit about why you wrote the book.
Well, water harvesting is one of the ways that we can really turn this whole thing around in terms of our planet and getting toward a permanent culture where it's not just about sustainability, but it's about local food and local water production. And there's a resource from the sky that we neglect. We have water that sheds off our roofs and actually turns into pollution downstream because we have this sort of hydrophobia. We want to get water away from our buildings. But instead, we can let that soak into our environments, create much more healthy soil and windbreaks and shade and food from the trees that we grow out of the water coming off our roofs. We can store the water in cisterns and drink it. It's endless, and it's a resource that we've been neglecting for about 100 years.
We've talked about the world's water crisis here on HuffPost Live before, both in the United States with the droughts and also with contamination of water and even the access to clean water in other places around the world. But, you know, Nate, how severe is the drought here in the United States? How do we quantify how severe it is? And do you think it's been exaggerated at all?
Not at all. I do think we are in a drought condition. The word drought is a problem, though, because we're actually in a condition, whether or not, if we were to get a couple of great wet years, the fact of the matter is that the resources we have, the aquifers, for example, the Ogallala aquifer under much of our breadbasket is shrinking. And no matter how much it rains, it's still going to shrink based on how much we're pumping out of it. It was created by a geological formation that no longer exists. So it's only getting the water that falls directly on top of it. And if we continue to produce as much as we produce from it, that aquifer will run dry and there won't be a breadbasket for the world in the middle of our country.